A lot of people taking delivery, as you'll see here, record-setting amounts. To some degree, it's affected the price. Has it mattered? Hello there, my friends. Chris Marcus here with you for Arcadia Economics. Thanks for joining me today as we round out the week, cover some of the news that went on in the gold and silver space in another interesting week of trading. As we get started, I'd like to let you know that tonight's video is sponsored by Bluestone Resources, and some interesting news from them lately, because as you can see here, got some pleased to report additional high-grade drill assays in the south zone of the Cerro Blanco Gold Project. These results continue to confirm the continuity and high grade of the epithermal vein style mineralization, including several bonanza grade intercepts and the highest ever gold assay received in the project's history of 1380 grams per ton of gold over 1.2 meters, which exceeds the previous highest assay of 674 grams per ton of gold over 1.3 meters. So good news from Bluestone. And I believe we'll be having Jack back on the show soon. So thanks, Bluestone, for bringing us today's episode. And let's take a look at, here you see the gold and silver prices. Gold closing the week out, 1874, let's call it. Silver at $24.30. So really both of the metals, after seeing some fireworks earlier this year, have settled down, kind of floated around in this range for a while. Silver went up to $29, got as low as 22. Been floating around in between 24 and 25 for a couple weeks, maybe even months now. Kind of interesting. It's not like much has settled down in the world, as we will cover in today's video. So again, as I've talked about plenty, and you heard in the book, The Big Silver Short, a lot of this is determined by the paper trading, and I guess we'll just wait and see how it develops. Although, at least in my mind, the long-term trend or outcome, I don't know if it could be more certain. And let's dig in and explain why I believe that. Here we see Craig Hemke of TF Metals and also Sprott Money. Nice article about the Comex deliveries this year. This year's surging and record amount of what is alleged to be physical delivery of the Comex has been well documented. He comments later in the article as well about how this was not really the intention for the Comex to be a delivery market. And really, when you saw that spread between London and New York blow out back on March 23rd and 24th, it's interesting now all of a sudden a lot of people taking delivery, as you'll see here, record-setting amounts. To some degree, it's affected the price. Has it mattered? I guess that's a hard one to answer. I would say this is, while it does not guarantee something further, certainly is the type of precursor that I would expect if you do eventually have some sort of failure, because here you see in 2015, 16,000 contracts, 71,000, 31, 25. So for those last 5 years, there were 208,000 contracts delivered. And then as you see these big numbers here, year to date already, even before December, which shaping up to be a big one, we're already past, there are 215,000 already this year, as Craig reports. So, and now the final delivery month of December looms. It's typically the biggest of the year. And as he types this, there are 247 contracts open. So basically extrapolating the equivalent, we don't know until delivery period begins, but when you look at the pace that it was at in the previous months, his conclusion, so will we see another 50,000 plus contracts delivered in December? That certainly seems likely. So the numbers continue to add up, and there you can see the rest of what Craig mentions. And here we go. The Comex futures market was never intended to be utilized as a physical delivery platform, but after the crisis and near collapse of late March, it has been converted into such. I would say that's a significant development. Maybe I I don't know, maybe I sometimes focus on the critics more than supporters, but just to the degree I got an email from someone this week saying they're tired of hearing about manipulation and the price doesn't go up. And, it's like, gee, at least in gold, I mean, we did hit 2000. I mean, it's close to 1900. So that did happen, right? Silver only made it half of the way to 50 so far. But, I mean, the stuff is happening. I mean, I get it. I talk about big silver prices. That part specifically hasn't happened yet. Certainly, you see the trends in place. Let's look at the silver volume and open interest here. The December contract, still a couple days to go, but 56,820 is where we stood at the close on Friday. So will be fun to keep an eye on that. I guess next week, only a couple trading days left. I know we have Thanksgiving next week, but I'll keep you posted as it goes along. And soon enough, we will find out the December numbers and how that affects things. Something that I mentioned in Friday's video, but in case you didn't see that, I think is worth repeating. I've heard several people, I know you see it in the mainstream, say, well, the gold price is down because the vaccine got rolled out or is going to get rolled out. Yet here it is, the headline on CNBC, 5 agencies have started telling employees they could get COVID vaccine shots in 8 weeks. Yet even with that, it's not like the Fed is unwinding the balance sheet or the debt's being paid down. I mean, it's ironic how it used to be the politicians who would stiff arm the Fed into printing money. Now it's the other way around. The Fed's out there saying we need more stimulus. Okay, so there's more printed money coming, even with the vaccine. So I'll just leave that one at that. So try how to phrase things sometimes so as not to upset certain powers that be that may be searching for words or phrases. And I will behave myself so that we can keep bringing you Silver Talk Radio on the air. Although, real quick note, something, if you go to the homepage of arcadiaeconomics.com, type your name and email address in there, then you can make sure that get these delivered every day. Or the notification button is good too. But yeah, so we'll keep talking silver and dance around the touchy areas. There you see some of the silver stocks. There's First Majestic at 1028, lower on the year, lower than when silver was $18. I believe that's the case. Let's take a look at Silver Crest there. I know that was one of maybe that as we start heading towards the end of the year. I can't believe it's November 20th already. Although we are over here at Arcadia, we're planning a Silver December to remember. We're going to be giving away a lot of silver, kind of almost like a month-long Silver Fest, doing a lot of fun things. And it'll be interesting to look back at some of the themes here. It would be interesting if I could get the year-to-date chart to go up there. Okay, there we go. So I guess Silver Crest actually is up on the year, although still, I believe if you mark there on July 15th, anyway, you can see Silver Crest still down quite a bit. And a lot of the silver stocks, to some degree, the gold stocks, I know some of the people holding the shares are a little disappointed. I'd say especially to see First Majestic down on the year. My best guess is that similar to how silver just hovered in the upper teens, 16, 17, 18 bucks for 4 years. And then when it went, it jumped big. I think we will see more moves like that in silver. I personally believe the silver stocks have some catching up to do. But again, I guess it's nice. I don't know. Every time I earn income and have money and I can buy shares at these prices, that's what I continue to do. I'm not saying that's what you should do. I am just saying that that's what I am doing. Got a big chunk of Dolly Varden this week, which was fun. So anyway, we will keep you covered on the stocks. Reason 4,831,200 that I'm expecting silver to go up. Again, not that this is fortunate news, but we saw what happened with stimulus. We saw what happened with silver supply chain, all the things that happened when COVID shutdown happened the first time. I hope there is not further shutdown, but just to the degree of reporting what is and thinking, how would I expect a market to respond to that? I mean, I'm sure you guys are seeing the headlines out there, and here we have New York City schools closing. So it's kind of like it's happening now already. So anyway, and as you've heard Andy Scheckman talk about the last couple of weeks on the show, we saw what happened the first time. If it happens again, the mints are already still behind. So how to price that in, I'll leave that up to you, but at least that is what is going on out there. Quick note, again, I mentioned tonight was sponsored by Bluestone, which is one of the Discovery Group companies, and also another Discovery Group company that you may have seen a couple of days ago, but if not, quick update about some news from K2 Gold, who Stephen Swatton was on the show a couple months ago, and they've made some progress. So real quick, we are going to take it away to Stephen. All right, and here I am with Stephen Swatton, who was kind enough to join us on the show the other day, although Stephen, just wanted to get this out one more time so people could be aware of the news, because you just had some drilling news, so perhaps you could share that with folks.
Yeah, what we did is we drilled at 4 sites. We drilled 17 RC holes for 2,500 meters. We did RC drilling. All of the drill chips are in Vancouver right now. We expect to have the results in 2 to 3 weeks. What we were drilling was a 3 kilometer by 1 kilometer gold anomaly, which has been drilled in the past by BHP and Newmont. So we're eagerly anticipating those results, and also some very interesting and potentially game-changing areas to the west of this zone, which haven't been looked at since the early 1900s. And they may well have some gold potential as well. Extremely altered and not mineralized as far as we can see, other than altered oxides, but we definitely have some quartzite structures and some alteration in there, which we're going to be following up on. So yeah, we got some drilling results, and we got some rock chip sampling results. Should be fun.
Yeah, nice to see a lot of progress you've made since the last time we had you on the show, and we will look forward to staying posted. The description, in the description field below, you can sign up, get more information. So thank you, Stephen, and we will check in again soon.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Chris.
All right, so there you go. Couple last stories here. You may have seen this week, Judy Shelton nomination fails key Senate procedure vote. Go figure, someone who believes in sound money is not allowed to participate in discussions on anything regarding that. So nothing. I was looking for some great quotes. Shelton's views on Fed independence, the gold standard, and the guaranteeing of bank deposits. That's an interesting one. I wonder what her guaranteeing bank deposits sounds a little scary, but I'm sure the second that she was talking about gold, even if she had gotten in, would it have made a difference? Maybe we'll never know. I don't know. I maintain my belief that this thing will just go until it eventually collapses. Maybe that'll be in the form of a reset. Certainly enough data points or clues or hints that something, I mean, I don't have specific knowledge of that. Andrew McGuire's talked about it quite a bit. Yet at least the way I would phrase it is that if there were a reset coming, certainly a lot of the things that we've seen this year are the type of events that I might expect to be associated with that. So anyway, there you go. Although one that I know will make my beautiful audience smile a little bit. From Soros to Warren Buffett, smart money is dumping shares of JP Morgan Chase. And actually, since they mentioned Warren Buffett in there, that means Warren has been getting long the Barrick JP Morgan Chase spread, buying Barrick and selling JP Morgan to buy gold stocks. I think that's some great news. And then it's interesting, you get down to JP Morgan Chase's rap sheet under Jamie Dimon. who I think has won awards, which is kind of weird because I was figuring maybe I'd go through these, and then I looked at how long the list was. I mean, we'd be here a while, and I know it's Sunday, so hopefully you're all getting ready to watch some football or have some fun with the family. I think I threw in a little Southern accent. I've been here in Texas for almost a month, and now look. Last one for you. When will uranium prices go up? An article I caught on the Investing News Network that also has some good silver coverage. And so if you Google that one, because it's an interesting market, to me, some similar dynamics to silver. Obviously, here you can see what happens when the uranium market really moves, when it spiked up to 140, didn't stay there too long, almost kind of like silver in 2011. Yet seems like there is a structural deficit. As Rick Rule says, either we're going to stop using electricity or the price is going to rise. Although when will prices go up? And here, Rick, that investors interested in uranium should be prepared to take the long position. In his opinion, it could be a while before we see a rebound in the uranium market. So for people who wonder, all right, let's say you have gains in silver, what do? I mean, do you don't want to sell it back into dollars, or at least I don't. I would imagine if silver went nutty and uranium was still at $25 or $30, that would be one of the places that I would look. I kind of like these scenarios where, and I agree with what Rick says. I mean, and obviously he's much more in tune with the uranium market than I am, but I don't know. It's like, that's what I think is great about just investing for the long term. Okay, if I'll continue researching my view. I mean, of if it's selling below the cost of production, then all right. If I don't have the first clue when that's resolved, but I think it has to be at some point, then, I'd look for companies that fit that profile, maybe can weather the storm, similar like I've done in silver. So anyway, just something to think about. One of my friends who watches the show, Andrew, if you're watching out there, I thought it was funny. He was like, we need the uranium version of Chris. So anyway, I'm sure he's out there somewhere. Luis James, Lobo Tigre, who's been on the show a couple times. He has a free column you can get, as well as his great newsletter. Digs into that quite a bit. Here you see the Arcadia website, and that's where you can sign up for our newsletter. So you get these video updates each day delivered into your inbox. And with that said, I do hope you're having a great week out there, and that lots of gold and silver is going to find you for Christmas. We'll be celebrating our Silver December to remember all month, giving away free stuff, having a lot of fun. So sure appreciate you being here. If you like this episode, hit the share button. And to find out more about Bluestone Resources, who brought this episode to you tonight, well, there is a video on that coming your way now.